Hi, my name is Joanna Whitney. I am an intuitive artist, a student of natural law, and an energy practitioner. And I'm just going to make a video about something else that I did record earlier today on my voice memo. And I'm going to try to do as good a video as I did with that voice recording. And if I can't, I'm just going to post the voice recording because it had all the passion in it that I am hoping that I can bring forward in this video today. Um, and it's about standing up for principle and about courage, okay? Like I just have to uh talk about this because it came up yesterday as a result of something I started yesterday and the blowback that I got from standing up for principle from my peers. So what I want to say is that it is terrifying for me to stand up for principle. My knees knock, I sweat, I choke. I look shitty. I look bad. I don't look good like I like to look. I forget words when I stand up for principle. I just have to open my mouth and start talking. Um, and if I can't do that, then I have more shadow work to do. I have been working on this for many years. And when we were locked out of the grocery store in 2020, if we didn't want to put on a face diaper, that's when I realized that I had more spiritual work to do because I had the inner volcano occur where a giant ball of fire raced through my body and made me feel like my head was going to explode when I was confronted at the door of the supermarket, health food store, because I didn't want to put on a face diaper. It took a lot of work for me to be able to calmly say, no. I didn't have the courage back then. And the lack of courage made me not even curious or able to even investigate the CDC website, which continued to state on it that I didn't have to wear a mask. It was a mandate. A mandate is a strong suggestion. It was never a law. But we, the community, made it into a law. Whereas I could have showed them, could have showed the manager of the store my phone, which would say, had the CDC website on it, which would show that it was never required. But what I did instead was I did some shadow work so that I could become clear of a lot of my trapped emotions from childhood trauma that were making it impossible for me to stay calm in that environment. And then I had a few other things happen where um, a group that I was involved with for something that I've been involved with for a long time went against their own principles. And decided, I prayed for the power, and then I ended up standing up and breaking all of their rules for, how they operate their meetings so that I could state that they were violating their own principles. And I stood up to them for about a month. Every single day, I went there every single day at a certain time and stood up and spoke out. And I was ostracized. I was, you know, basically kicked out eventually. Eventually, it became impossible for me to return there. But I just didn't want to at that point because I realized that um, they weren't open to change. They just wanted to be cognitively dissonant. They wanted to have their their rules that they stated, but then they wanted to violate their own rules because they were cowards and didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. They would rather do that than stand up to their principles or their mission statement. And so I decided finally that I didn't want to be involved with them anymore. But the value that I got from standing up to them every single day and speaking out was immeasurable because I got a lot of courage from that experience. And I just wanted to say that. I want to say to everyone that you have to practice being courageous because we're living in this comfortable society now where everything's handed to us. We don't have to ever, we can live lives where we don't really have too much scary stuff that happens to us that we have to confront. We can pad our lives with comfort in this society. And then when it comes to standing up for anything, to standing up and speaking the truth about anything, we don't have the courage to do it. So I would recommend that if you have any fears, that you confront your fears, like a fear of heights. If you have a fear of heights, go mountain climbing. I have done this. I had a fear of heights. First, what I did was I was a painter, house painter, and I had to climb a 30-foot ladder to paint a soffit. And I prayed my ass off with every rung that I stepped up, and I painted the soffit. And I was terrified and I sweated and I had dry mouth and I was afraid that I was going to drop the paint bucket, but I didn't. And I prayed and prayed and prayed and I got through it. And then I had a little bit less fear of heights. Then I became a roofing canvasser. So I had to climb up on roofs a lot. Lost a little bit of fear from doing that. Then I went bouldering, where I would have to climb down rocks, rock face, and I would have to pray to God for a place to put my foot and my next foot and my next foot. And I overcame my fear of heights from doing that. I had a fear of public speaking, so I joined a Toastmasters group and I was confronted with, my disorganization and my inability to formulate words or to stick to an outline while I'm speaking. And then I basically overcame my fear of public speaking as a result of that. And then, I basically, when I do this channel, I basically go off the outline of the book I'm reading. And right here, I have an outline for this talk here, which I'm going to refer back to make sure I'm covering everything. Um, so yeah, the other thing I want to say about this is leave your phone at home. Go out and leave your phone at home. Go out on a little adventure. And if you get lost, pray to God to get you out of the confusion. Pause, breathe in and out. Don't have a camera with you so you won't miss the opportunity to take a picture or a video of whatever it is you see. You're just in the moment experiencing it. Leave your phone home. That's going to help you with courage. Um, no maps. Just pray. Follow your intuition. Start to strengthen your intuition through different ways. There's different ways to strengthen your intuition. Basically, praying and following the signs is a way to strengthen your intuition. I had this one student at one time, um, who I was this sort of spiritual guide for this person, and she confided in me that her higher power's voice was the voice of Siri. I can't tell you how terrifying that was for me. That she didn't question that. She didn't say, "What the hell? Siri is the voice of my God." Yeah, an AI robot programmed by people at Apple is my higher power. No, thank you. No, thank you. I say no to that. But I'm sure that a lot of people feel that way, that Siri is the voice of comfort. We're basically sitting ducks for the dark occult. If an AI robot is the voice of comfort for you, um, I used to be involved in this group of people that where we would confront our fears daily. Daily. It was a normal thing. And it never got better. I mean, it did get better in a way because I realized at some point that the things that I fear never happen. That's why I don't really pay attention to all the predictions of this, that, and the other that's going to happen, blah, blah, because nothing of these things ever actually happen the way that they say they're going to happen. And so it doesn't really matter to me because I trust God that I will be taken care of regardless of what happens. I'm going to do the best I can. But I remember being a member of this group, we would be taking ourselves on a daily basis. And this is what we used as a metaphor, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. So Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom, he's he's running to escape the Nazis, and he gets to this gorge and there's no bridge. So he steps out onto the invisible bridge and the bridge appears under his feet. And that's how it's got to be. Standing up for principle. I can't wait for other people to stand up for principle for me so that I can follow them. I have to be the one who does it. I have to pray to God for the power, and then I have to open my mouth and start talking and trust that the bridge is going to appear under my feet. And that's the way it's got to be. Otherwise, we're simply going to get taken over by the dark occult. Bullshit. I did this group thing yesterday where I started this what would you call it? It's a group where we're going to study the principles of this thing I'm involved with. And and three people showed up to the group. And I said no cell phones allowed. You got to leave your cell phone in the car or turn it off and secure it for 1 hour. And they got mad at me for this. They got mad at me for the things I was saying because I wasn't patting them on the head and saying everything's going to be okay. You don't have to do anything. Everything's going to be fine. God's going to take care of it. You don't have to do anything. It's all good. No, I said we have a great opportunity here to do some wonderful, amazing work. We could do it. The four of us here, we could commit to doing it to bring back principles. They got angry at me for that. They said, "Oh, COVID changed everything. We can't do things the old way now because we can't stand up for principles anymore because blah blah blah." No, that is because you are a coward. You haven't dealt with your shadow work. You have more work to do. You're just comfortable with the work that you've done, and you just want to be comfortable. And anyone who says that that's not enough for this time, you're just going to get mad at them. That was me. They got mad at me. Oh, well, next week I go back. I have the key. They may not show up. I may be sitting there by myself. I don't care. This is what I can do for this particular society within society that has let go of its principles. Most of the people bought into the fake shit that was going on and decided to succumb to it because they're cowards. And I am a coward too. I am a coward also. However, I am blessed in that I saw what I was doing and I saw the cowardice. And I know that natural law requires that I grow spiritually on a daily basis. My growth will never end. As long as I'm alive, I have to continue to grow spiritually. That is the deal that I made. coming here at this time. I can't be comfortable. As much as I love comfort, I am one of the people who loves comfort. So I have to pray to God for the power and I have to step out. And as a result of that, I have this channel now. That's what I'm doing now. But at some other time, I might have to just stand up to a cop. And I'm not the type that can memorize the law like some of these people. I'm one of those people that, makes it up as they go along and is often wrong in what I say. And I just have to trust that it's going to be okay. That's why it's nice to have an outline. And I think I did pretty good on this video. Um, not as well as I did in my voice memo when I had the passion to do it, but I think I covered all the points. But what I want to say here is I'm doing this Kabbalion, and I have another thing I'm gonna do after this. After the Kabbalion, I have another project that I'm gonna do that I think is gonna be really awesome as well. But the reason I am doing it is for people to get off their ass and start doing it themselves. We are in a war here right now. Yeah, yeah. There's a plan, 2030, Agenda 2030. They want us all locked down with the basic income by 2030. And we have to do some stuff here in the United States if that's not going to happen. Yeah, I'm sure they're afraid because we have guns in our drawers or whatever. Most people don't even know how to use them, I'm sure. And hopefully they'll figure it out before it's needed. But they're going to probably try to move on this stuff. And people have to start standing up. They have to start not participating, saying no, verbally standing up, going to city council if you think that's what's needed, speaking out to your friends on social media, in person, on YouTube and other channels. You have to start talking. You have to start. And if you can't talk, then you need to do the shadow work, do the emotion code, do some other shadow work. There's plenty of shadow work available. Um, but the emotion code you can teach yourself to do and remove trapped emotions. I'm a practitioner of that. Um, do whatever it is you have to do to overcome your fear so that you can stand up for freedom. Do not let other people stop you from doing that, and do not wait for other people to do it for you. So that's the message for today that I felt was very important. And until next time.